Hello everybody, here is a little lecture about certified mediation, a bit of an unusual topic, but it's short, only 3 slides, so I hope you will agree and listen until the end. Now, what is mediation? Well, if there is a dispute between people or between companies, a mediation can be a solution. The meaning of mediation is derived from the Latin medius, middle, means in the middle. And so if two parties agree that there is a possibility to find a solution somewhere in the middle, then the mediation is what can be done. Mediation can be on many levels. If there is a conflict between a couple, the partners of a couple, it will be a psychologist who can do the mediation. Of course, if there are legal issues, it will be a lawyer that is best chosen as a mediator. Now, I want to speak especially about certified mediation, which narrows down the number of mediators. And certified means that they have followed a specific training on negotiation techniques and finding a solution. These people are certified by the Belgian Federal Mediation Commission, FBC, and have agreed to continuous education and to the deontological code of this commission. Certified mediators still need to be competent in the field of the dispute. So, for example, the lawyer needs to be competent about intellectual property, or about information technology, or about commercial law, or all of them, whatever is relevant. The other important thing is that this mediator can speak and understand the language of all parties. In my country, we have a Dutch part, we have a French part, so the mediator should speak, for example, as well Dutch as French or possibly English. The region where this mediator lives does not matter. It is the language that he speaks and understands, so that each party can express itself freely and with the details and the nuances they require. The other criterion is, of course, the neutrality of the mediator. The mediator should not be linked to either party, and that is as well on a professional level as on a personal level, have no prior professional or personal relationships with either party. In addition, impartiality is an essential part of the deontological code of the Federal Mediation Commission. Now, how does it work? Well, the requesting party, they will suggest a mediator based on competence and language, which are the easy things, and then also on neutrality. Neutrality is looks maybe a little bit more important, but in fact it's obvious, because if the requesting party suggests a mediator that is not neutral, they know he will not be accepted. So it is in the advantage of the requesting party to suggest a neutral certified mediator. Second, it is in the code, in the deontological code of the Federal Commission, that impartiality should be there during all the actions of the negotiation process. And at last, it is even requested that the mediator himself should declare a conflict of interest in case it would exist and would not be known to either party. For example, he does not know the parties, but he is very well befriended with the accountant of one of the companies. And when that name is suggested to the other party, that other party still has the right to refuse, to reject this suggestion, for example, because they feel that this mediator is not competent in the fields she should be competent, or is not neutral. When they reject the first suggestion of the requesting party, they can suggest themselves a mediator. In this way, even the process can go back and forth a few times, But of course, if the other party does not react to the initial suggestion of the requesting party, or refuses again and again for unclear reasons the suggested mediators, this is really causing a problem. But still, I must say that according to the law, accepting or rejecting a mediator is a free process and cannot be imposed by either party. It can be imposed by the judge, that the judge may say, I impose mediation, or the judge may even say, I impose a certain mediator. Now, what are the pros and the cons of certified mediation? I understand there will still be a lot of worries and objections about the procedures. They may not appear to be clear. The third party selection may appear to not be neutral. What about the agenda, etc., etc.? Well, as in many countries, there is a law about mediation, and it's also in Belgium, it is the case, and it is written in this book, abbreviated by GERW, Judicial Code. In the last chapter of this book, you find all the rules and explanations, the procedures, the emphasis on impartiality, etc., as indicated by the law itself. I speak, of course, about certified mediators. Now, what are the advantages to choose for a certified mediator? Well, first of all, it is probably a help to avoid a draining and expensive lawsuit. A lawsuit typically will take years, especially if the lawyers decide to use procedural tricks and then there is appeal, etc. We speak about years. Mediation goes to the core of the problem and will normally be settled within a few months. The other advantage is that when both parties go to the lawsuit, it is the judge who may decide, black or white, what to do with the requests that are the subject of the dispute. So he may say, you own the house. He may say, I own the house because I built it. Whereas if we bring up this issue with a mediator, the conclusion may be, well, you may own the house on the condition that I, etc. When you don't agree, you may counter-propose some of the conditions, etc., until we find a solution in the middle. So we go back to the etymological meaning of the word mediation, find a solution in the middle. So in fact, there are many more shades of gray in a mediation where parties will listen to each other and then adjust for a final agreement. And that final agreement they will then bring with the mediator, with a certified mediator, to the court. The judge, most of the time, will be happy unless there is something illegal in the agreement, and congratulate both parties that they have agreed and chosen to mediate and resolve their conflict in this way. So I hope that this was a clear message, and I thank you very much for listening. On this slide you find my contact details. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to reply to them. Goodbye.